wanted to provide you with a little bit of help on the problems on page 153. I've selected two of these problems, and I'm hoping that maybe if I do one example of each, elimination and substitution, that that will help you with the others. I've actually given you the answers to the other four on the last slide, but maybe if you're struggling a little bit with this process, hopefully you've already tried it and you're just going to watch this to try to figure out if you did something wrong, or just to check what you've done. So elimination. It says that we need to make two pairs of equations with the idea that we're going to eliminate the same variable with each pair. So you're not really going to go wrong with either eliminating R or S in this case. Doesn't really matter which one you choose. I think I'm just going to eliminate S. Okay, so I'm going to put the first and the second. If you want to number these, you can. Here's 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to pair equations 1 and 2 together. Okay, so we're going to pair up 1 and 2. Do this one in red. 6Q minus R plus 2S equals 8. And 2Q plus 3R minus S equals -9. That's one pair. And then we'll do the other pair on this side. I'm going to do 2 and 3 paired up together. 2Q plus 3R minus S equals -9. 4Q plus 2R plus 5S equals 1. Okay, so remember, when you make these two pairs, you have to go after eliminating the same variable in both cases. So in the red, I've got to eliminate S, also in the blue. So the S doesn't just naturally eliminate, so I'm going to need to multiply the bottom equation by something. Hopefully you can see that that's going to be 2. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of space here. Oh, we'll keep it in red. All right, so the bottom equation multiplied times 2 so that S would eliminate. So I'm not going to change the top, but the bottom will become 4Q plus 6R minus 2S, and that equals -18. All right, so now at this point, I think I'm just going to mark out this bottom equation that has now been multiplied by 2. Just be very careful when you do these processes. One little mistake can cost you. All right, so we're going to add all the way across to eliminate S. 6 plus 4Q is 10Q. -1 plus 6R is plus 5R. And then S is eliminate. 8 plus -18 is -10. Okay, what about the blue? Well, for the blue, I need to multiply the top equation by 5 so that I can eliminate S. So let's see what that looks like. Multiplying by 5. That's going to be 10Q plus 15R minus 5S. And that equals -45. All right, so once again, if I'm sure that this all has been multiplied through correctly, I'm just going to mark this one out so that I won't get confused. And to eliminate S, it's going to require addition. So 10 plus 4Q is 14Q. 15 plus 2r is 17r. The s's eliminate. Negative 45 plus 1 is negative 44. All right, so let's put those together. And I'm going to wait till this stops. All right, so these two equations that remain are going to be put together as a system. All right, so here's my black, and here's the red. And then this should be very familiar to you. These numbers might get a little large, so you might want to grab a calculator. It's okay. I wouldn't do this to you on a test. Numbers will be quite smaller. But let's see. Do we want to eliminate Q or R? I think I'm just going to eliminate R. So that means I'm going to multiply the top equation by 17 and the bottom equation by 5. Okay, and let's just show what that looks like over here. 17 all the way across. 17 times 10, of course, is 170 Q. If you do 17 times 5, that's 85. And then 17 times negative 10 is negative 170. Okay, and now let's multiply by 5. So you got 14 times 5, that's 70 Q. And then 17 times 5, that's 85 R. And then negative 44 times 5 is negative 220. All right. So with subtraction, I eliminate R. So 170 minus 70 is 100 Q. R's are gone. And negative 170 minus negative 220. Well, when you subtract a negative, that's like adding. So it's really negative 170 plus 220, and that's 50. So when you divide by 100 on both sides, you get 50 over 100, which is 1/2. All right, so we got Q. Remember, our answer will be as an ordered triple. So we know one of our variables. Now we have to find R and S. Okay, so let's go back to one of these equations that just have two variables. We know Q, and that can help us find R. All right, so let's go to the black one. 10 times 1/2 plus 5R is negative 10. 10 times 1/2 is 5. That means 5R is going to be negative 15. So R is negative 3. Okay. All right, so that looks good. So we got two of our solutions, and now we're looking for the third. So now we're going to go all the way back to where there are three equations, and we're going to replace Q and R in one of these equations in order to find S. All right, so it doesn't matter which one you pick. I think I'm just going to go into the second one. 2 times 1/2 plus 3 times negative 3 minus S equals negative 9. 2 times 1/2 is 1. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 minus S. Okay. 1 minus 9 is negative 8. All right, so you're going to be adding 8 to both sides, so negative S equals negative 1, so positive S should equal positive 1. All right, and we now have our solution. Our ordered triple for number 5 is 1/2, negative 3, and 1. Now you may have paired them up differently, but it basically works the same way. If you found you didn't get this, more than likely it's some little something, a sign. Maybe you didn't multiply through all the way. It's involved in your subtraction or addition. Just go back. If you feel like you understand the process, then the next thing is to just go back and thoroughly check your work and make sure that you didn't just do a real small mistake. It's the little things with these that mess up your final answer. Okay, so we did an elimination. Now let's do a substitution. I think some of my work got erased here. That should be a 6. Okay, now we're good. So with substitution, we are trying to solve for a variable and then replace that variable in the other two equations. So I'm going to solve for x in the top, this top equation. Solving for x would give us positive 4y, because we have to add 4y to both sides, minus z, plus 6. There's already a positive 6 on the right side. So I just solved for x in the top equation, and now I'm going to replace each of these, the x in equations 2 and 3. So that'll look like this. 2 times our new x, 4y, minus z, plus 6, plus 5y, minus z, equals 7. Okay, and then I think over here I'll just do the same thing in this third equation, maybe do a different color, but we're going to replace x here as well. 4y minus z plus 6 minus y minus z equals 1. Solve for one of the variables, replace that variable in the other two. All right, so let's work on the red distributing property. 8y minus 2z plus 12 plus 5y minus z is 7. Combine the y terms. 8 plus 5y is 13y. Combine the z terms. Negative 2 minus 1z is negative 3z. And then subtract 12 from both sides, and you get negative 5. Okay, on the blue side, distribute. 8y minus 2z plus 12 minus y minus z is 1. Combine the y terms. 8 minus 1y is 7y. Negative 2 minus 1z is negative 3z. And then subtract 12 from both sides, and you get negative 11. Okay, so now the red and the blue need to be combined together, and now we're back to elimination. Okay, we do substitution initially, but at this point, going forward, we're just going to be using the substitution method just like you did in previous homework. All right, well, we noticed that our z's will cancel. That's nice with subtraction. So 13 minus 7y is 6y, and the z's cancel. Negative 5 minus negative 11, that's the same thing as negative 5 plus 11, which is 6. So we got our y value. Y is 1. Okay, so let's set up our ordered triple. This time we've got y. Okay, well, now let's just go back into one of these equations, either red or blue, doesn't matter which, and use y to help us find z. I think I'm going to go into the bottom one. 7 times 1 minus 3z is negative 11. Subtract 7 from both sides. Negative 3z is negative 18. So that means z is positive 6. Okay, so far so good. And now it makes sense, since we already have an equation here that's solved for x, let's just replace what we know for y and z in this equation, and we'll know what x is. So x is going to be 4 times our y, which is 1, minus our z, which is 6, plus 6. 4 minus 6 plus 6, negative 2 plus 6, x is 4. Okay, so that is our final ordered triple answer for number 15, 4, 1, 6. So that's one elimination problem, one substitution problem, and for the other 4, I just went ahead and provided this for you so you can know if you're doing the right thing. These are the answers for the other 4 problems. So if you didn't get those, then probably more than likely it's something small. Go back and check your work. Make sure you did all the arithmetic, the multiplication, all that correctly. And if you're still having trouble with the processes, then come and see me during academic support, and we'll go through some more practicing. But hopefully this video and the notes video will help you, and now it's just going to be about practicing in order to get better. So let me know if I can help.